Hi, I'm theciaellis, and welcome to Grandma's Homestead. And guess what? It's time for another update. And there have been some changes. I was looking at when I was out doing some chores this morning. I was looking, and there have been some pretty interesting changes. So let's get started. But first, let's start on the front porch. I did. When I went to buy feed, I had to go look in the greenhouse out there. We got Brussels sprouts, and these are cauliflower, so we need to get those transplanted in. This is the rest of this is just regular plants that we keep. This, it looks rough. I know it looks rough. I went ahead and watered it today anyway because I believe some of my strawberry plants are trying to revive. So I'm going to go ahead and plant and keep watering it, but obviously the rest of it I need to get cleared out and get started with new stuff. I also need to figure out what's going on with this, because it's not staying on and the wind keeps blowing it off. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong there. If you look out here, you can see the pigs are happily munching. Well, Yoda's sleeping, imagine that. But they're still just going and going and going at the grass out there. It won't be long before they have it completely mowed down. Oh, I guess I should have done it where at least you could kind of see. There they are. Okay, I don't know what my buck is doing there. He's like chewing on the wire and stuff. He does that a lot. And if you see all the grass and stuff that I give him every day, they just go, I don't know what they do to it, but it all shreds and falls underneath. But that's okay too, because it's got all the poop in with it and kind of makes a good weed deterrent along with a fertilizer. So that's good. I don't know what to do for him. I don't know. We'll see. But here's my girls. They're pretty, and I got the blanket that I put on because I haven't moved them, obviously. So we'll get them taken care of pretty soon. But they seem to do it. And right now it's cloudy, so I think they're okay. But if it gets too sunny, I pull the blanket down so they can have shade. Blackberry thickets are getting all leafed out pretty good, and these are the wild ones. So I'll be perfectly honest, I don't particularly care if they. Oh, excuse me, sir. Am I in your way? This is that first big peach tree, and you can see where I put some of the grass poop and rabbit poop and grass there, but something has made a home down there. I don't know. But this is that first peach tree. It's leafing out real good, looking pretty decent. We have had 2 nights in a row just recently where it got down to right at freezing. So I guess it's good that it's just leaves right now and not actual blossoms. Well, wait a minute. I do see 1 or 2 blossoms way up in that tree. This tree has very little on it, but look at this one. And these are all peach trees. So it looks like they have dealt with the cold nights pretty good. I mean, it got right at freezing for 2 nights in a row, but I don't know how much lower it did. And maybe up here on top of the hill, it wasn't bad at all. I know that when you get down, like in the mornings when I was doing the birds in the mornings, on those cold days, there was a little ice on top of it, but up on top of the hill, up there by the house, it wasn't that cold. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't know how much longer this tree's gonna last. I'm looking down here, and not only is it leaning and it's all boogered up, but it looks like there's some gaps underneath the roots there too. And I'm also noticing where that's cut off, there's 2 or 3 places like that. Those are done by twig girdlers. They were probably done last fall, and I'm just now noticing it. But it still has some leaves on it, some of the other branches. So I don't know. Some of these trees have had a rough life though, obviously. Don't know what the dogs are after. It's funny because Beethoven takes off in the neighbor's pasture. And Candy thinks that that's where something going on over there, but now she's on the trail of something else. There's no telling. Oh, he's catching on. This bush still has a nest thing in it. I'm not seeing too much going on with it though, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. But then here's that smaller pear tree, and those are the blossoms on it. They're pretty nice. Not a whole lot to them, but there is something there. But like I said, this is the one that's going this way, and then the stuff that's growing vertical, it's not doing much. The wind is considerably less today, but there is still every once in a while you'll feel a little, probably hear a little bit of a wind. This is a big pear tree. It's looking beautiful, looking good, except obviously it still needs to be pruned, but it's still looking good. But I want to show you something else. This, I don't know what this is. This is what I thought was sumac, and it's white. Got some pretty white flower things on it. We'll go up closer in a minute. But then stuff that I know in the distance there is sumac, and it's still dead, and still got the berries on it from last year. So I don't know the difference between the two. I'll be perfectly honest. Tom pointed this out to me. He told me about it the other day, and I'm just now seeing it. We got these T-posts here, which means there used to be a tree planted here. And it looks like it may have died or something, but now something else has come back. And I could not even tell you what kind of tree this is, but it looks like something has grown back on top of where the roots are. And it looks like he put some rabbit poop on it too. So, well, whatever it is, we'll find out, I guess. And this is a close-up of those white flowers of what I've been trying to tell you is sumac for long. I don't know what those are. If you know the difference between the two, are they two different types of sumac bushes? And if so, what's the difference? I would appreciate knowing. This is that plum tree looking so sad except for the one branch. So, yeah. Not expecting too much of this tree this year. We really do need to do something. I don't see, and if we cut it that one side off, it was still has all this damaged stuff down below the one branch that works. I don't know. We're going to probably just let it go for the season, and then maybe this next fall and winter we'll get it trimmed back or something. I don't know. Hopefully. This is another thicket of what I believe is sumac, and look at that. There's not a leaf or a blossom or anything on it, and there's even no berries from last year. I really don't know. You think, being a native of Oklahoma, I would know more than I do, but I do not, because I never paid attention, and now I'm trying to learn, and I don't have a clue. My poor turkey hen, all alone. I was listening to her call a while ago. I guess she's quit calling. She may have quit calling because I'm approaching. I've got to figure out something to do with her. Poor thing. I'm standing outside the garden area, and you can see what little we've done in it, and you can see what needs to be done. But also from the distance, you can see where I was coming in from the north side and was clearing out. You can kind of see it. So I'm making little by little progress. And I can't remember if I told you, I couldn't figure out how the dogs were getting in while I was over here working, and I discovered that there was a whole section of fence. Well, I knew that section of fence was off, but I thought there was a center fence that was up, and apparently it's not. And so I got it pretty much closed off, so at least if they want to, they can get in, because it's only kind of just pasted up there. I am not seeing any growth of the potatoes that I planted several days ago, but my onions are looking pretty good. Looks like they need to be weeded though, so that's all we've got in here for right now. This is an oak tree, and look, the leaves are falling off, and looks like we are getting some new growth. The leaves are almost all gone. But yep, we're going to start having some oak leaves coming on pretty soon. I've already harvested the okra. The asparagus this morning. Looks like I'm going to have to do a separate cage, because I know we've got some crowns in here, but I've got one of those other, a nice fat one that's growing there. And so that's what, like I said, I've already done the harvesting today, and I've been down here scything. And this is some of the stuff that I've been giving the rabbits and the pigs and even the birds. It's kind of crazy. I can put a whole big old pile in there with the birds, and there'll be nothing but sticks left with it by the evening. I'm hearing my pigs squalling. I think it's Wilbur and Daisy. I hope it doesn't get too hectic up there. We'll check them out here in a few minutes. These rebars that are planted, most of them are supposed to have blackberry in there, and I just can't see where my thornless blackberries are coming up yet. Not in a lot of places. Nah. There's a dead leaf right there, but I don't know. Yeah, there's something going on with my pigs up there. And then you get on up further up the road here. Now here's one. I'm not seeing a lot of growth on it, but this blackberry bush is actually starting to show some stuff happening with it. So maybe it'll work out. I don't know. We really do like our blackberries, especially the thornless kind. Yeah, that one's starting to leaf out a little bit. Goodness. I don't know what's going on with them up there. I wonder if she's going into heat and he's trying to go after her or something. I don't know. Well, we'll see. They're certainly making a lot of noise. And of course, then we've got these are looking pretty good this year so far. And look, see right here, we've got the elderberry. But then right in the middle of it, we got this blackberry bush. And that was not supposed to go that way. I wonder if I don't know what happened there. But I'm not seeing, I'm not seeing a whole lot of growth on this blackberry. There's one right there, a little bit of growth happening, so maybe we'll get something there. This is another one, I'm not saying it looks like it's dead. I don't know, we'll have to see how it looks like. The apple trees, ooh, look how beautiful and deep red that is. Isn't that pretty? Wow. I thought I saw a bee up there. And here's another tree covered with blossoms. So they're not bees. I don't know what they're something little. And it's warm enough. The bees should be coming out. But I don't know how many beehives. I think we've got 1 or 2 beehives on the south end of the property that have survived their neglect. But this tree, you can tell by this trunk, it's had a rough life too. Interesting that these trees have kind of a pinkish blossoms. And these are all apple. And these blossoms are more white. I mean, there's some pink to them too, but they definitely have more white to them. That's cool. And this late bloomer here is finally getting some leaves and getting some stuff going on with it. We'll see how it looks here by next week too. But it's kind of nice to see the changes. Something's been eating on this daylily. That's interesting. My garlic bed's coming along. Looking a little bit neglected, but it's coming along. But looky here. Little bit. I think I saw something more down here on one of these other ones. Maybe, yeah, here it is down here. So they're actually starting to bud out. Ooh, and here's a leaf even. Cool, so my grapes have started doing their thing for the season. It is early, but it has been an early spring in a lot of ways. Like I said, I've already harvested the asparagus in these beds, and yes, those are asparagus beds. You just can't tell very easily. I'll get down here eventually. I hope to anyway. But it's still slow, especially with as many little plantings as we have of asparagus. And it's still slow, but it'll pick up. It's going to be, the weather's, well, I was going to say it's going to be warming up and looking good, but it's not. It's going to be kind of cool for the next few days. Oh well. I don't think it's supposed to get below freezing though, so that's what's the most important, I think. Well, it looks like all is quiet now for a little while anyway. These guys are all laying down. Of course, they're hearing my voice. But it looks like Wilbur's leaving Daisy alone for a moment, so maybe they're getting some peace up there too. Yeah, Daisy's hiding in the pig hut. Oop, she might be coming out. And Wilbur's pouting over there by the water thing. At least they're quiet for now. Well, I got all the pigs riled up and oh, wait. They're happy now. They found more grass. They were squalling pretty hard a moment ago. This is a box of books that I was going to take to donate. And Mopar snoozing away in the box. Alright, duck eggs. I quit turning them tomorrow. So maybe by the next video we'll have ducklings to show you. We'll see. And I think I'm down to 21 duck eggs that I candle them once a week. And I think that I'm down to 21, so we'll see what we end up with after that. The sun's coming out. I think I'm going to go ahead and close up put their blanket down so they don't get too hot. Right. Hopefully that'll help them a little bit. Hey, I guess we need to start coming up with a name for these rabbits. This is the buck that's out here closest to me, and the 2 girls over there. So I guess I need to start thinking about names for them. But at least it's not a great shade, but it's better than nothing. And it still lets air flow through too. Well, I believe that was a pretty good indication of what's going on around here. I kind of like doing these updates because they help keeps me in line to know what's going on too. And so I feel better if I actually get out there, you know, because I don't go looking in the orchard and stuff. And so doing these videos gives me the reason to go out to the orchard and go past just the first row of the grapevines, and unless I'm actually out in there working, which I do sometimes, it's good to keep track of what's going on with the blackberries and with the just everything in general. And so even if this is not something that, well, I think you would be interested in it and seeing what happens in Northeast Oklahoma, but I need it just for records of what's going on in my own little world here, I guess. I don't know. But that's all I got for you today. Oh, wait, that's not true. I was listening to a recent podcast that I had put out because I try to listen to them, and I made a really stupid mistake. I wanted to talk to you about the Self-Reliance Festival. It's coming up. I think it's April 5th and 6th. I think that's what the date is on it. And I do have a link below where you can still get tickets to it. You can still get the VIP for $450. The early bird is no longer in effect. I believe it's $95 for that. But I'm telling you what, that $95 goes a long way on what they're doing. But what the thing I had wanted to clarify on, I had put out that Sonny Pazikis, I think is how it's pronounced. I kept saying she this and she that because the name of the course that he is doing is called Fight Like a Girl. And so it's not led by a woman. It is led by a man. He's a Russian man. I got to hear him on another podcast. And so he has an interesting background too. So I believe that his class is on Friday, and that's something special. That's something separate. So, I mean, they have separate things because they cram a whole lot into 2 days on Saturday and Sunday. And then somebody goes, well, what about chicken processing? So they had Joel Salatin at the last one doing chicken processing. I think he did that one on a Monday. So a 2-day event with all the things that people are asking for in different classes that people are doing. It's now like a 4-day event, but the regular $95 is $2 is the 2 days, and those are the ones I've always gone to, and just packed with information and wonderful people, lots of people, lots of wonderful things happening. So this is in Camden, Tennessee. It's a beautiful drive, just to, because you know what, I love America. I love Eastern Oklahoma. I love Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee. I just love all the places that I have been to here in the last few years. I'm not real crazy about desert. I'll go if that's what, if it gets me to someplace else. But I love the green. And in fact, here in Eastern Oklahoma, it's called green country. And so it's a beautiful drive to Tennessee. There's some wonderful people there. You'll learn a lot, and I really highly recommend that you go to the Self-Reliance Festival. I think they have 2 a year, so even if you can't go to the one in April, they'll have another one probably in October, and I will talk to you about that one too. So I pray that things are going well for you. I pray that you were actually getting out and seeing what's going on in your little world too. I mean, that we all have our worlds. We all have things that we're doing. Step out. Yeah, maybe the roses aren't blooming yet, but maybe you can find a bud. Ooh, that reminds me. I've got a rose bush I need to be checking in on. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, guys. God bless. I'll see you next time.